Dionysius, bishop of the church at Alexandria, with 2 of his fellow believers, Gaius and Peter, after much suffering, exiled into a desert place of Libya, 3 days' journey from Paratonium, for the testimony of Jesus Christ, about the year 260. After different letters of Dionysius, bishop at Alexandria, recorded by A. Melanus from Eusebius, concerning the persecution he suffered, there follows one which Dionysius wrote to Domitius and Didymus, about the oppression of the Christians under Valerian, as well as how he himself was oppressed at that time. Among other statements it contains these words: "It is not necessary to mention all the names of the Christian martyrs, because their number is very great, and you do not know them. But know ye of this persecution in general, that innumerably many men and women, old and young people, old women and young girls, of every state and condition, were some scourged, some burned, some beheaded, or made martyrs in some other manner, and still the proconsul continues in his cruelty, putting to death those that were made known to him, causing some to be rent asunder by diverse torments, holding others in bonds and severe confinement, and letting them perish through hunger and thirst, forbidding all to come to them, yea, closely watching those who but endeavor to get near them. Nevertheless, the Lord has thus strengthened the hearts of the brethren, that they, for the name of Christ, have constantly visited these oppressed prisoners, notwithstanding it was interdicted under penalty of death. And although this persecution has lasted for a considerable length of time, there have still been some whom God did not deem worthy to take to himself as martyrs, among whom, says Dionysius, I myself yet remain, until the Lord will otherwise dispose of me, since he doubtless preserves me for some other time, which appears to him more suitable. At present I, together with Gaius and Peter, and separated from all the rest of the brethren, confined in a desert place of Libya, 3 days' journey from Paratonium. We selected this letter of Dionysius from all the rest because there is stated in it, on the one hand, the severity of this persecution in general, and on the other hand, the oppression which this friend of God himself suffered, inasmuch as he, after much wandering, was separated, together with his 2 dear friends, Gaius and Peter, from all the rest of his brethren, and confined in a desert place of Libya, there expecting death for the name of the Lord. Of Dionysius, P.J. Twisk states that he, as well as Tertullian, held a figurative or spiritual view of the Lord's Supper, i.e., that the words of Christ, "This is my body," signify, "This is a figure of my body." The same author, speaking of Origen, says, among other things, of Dionysius, that after Origen and Heracles he presided over the schools of the catechumens, that is, those who were instructed in the Christian doctrine before baptism, at Alexandria. In another place, the aforementioned author states that Dionysius, whom he calls a catechetical preacher, accompanied Pancratius when the latter was baptized at Mount Selinus. D. Visicomes cites Dionysius from Eusebius as saying, "Many heathen adopted at their baptism the name of the Apostle John, from special love and admiration for him, as well as because of the zeal which animated them to follow him, and because they desired to be loved by the Lord as he was. For the same reason, the names of Peter and Paul became prevalent among the believing children of God." All these, says the writer who has recorded this, are beautiful reminders which were administered to the catechumens before and after baptism, which certainly cannot apply to infants.